Welcome to SynthGen update number 7, part 3. Oh dear, I need to update this title screen. Let's see, edit this. Part 3. Making CoPilot code for me. So today I'm going to try to do some Bluetooth stuff. I'm try to get at this, what do we call it, a Pi Pico W, which I started programming in part 2, actually part 1. Actually, I'd done some stuff before that anyway. The whole point of this project is to have a Pi Pico W, or multiple Pi Pico Ws, and have each one bind to several Wii balance boards over Bluetooth, read their pressure sensors, and then forward all that data over OSC to like some other machine running BCV rack or whatever software we want. But the sort of annoying fiddly part is getting all this data in from the balance boards because there seems to be a limit. So I'm told. I haven't actually experienced this myself. There's a limit of like 7 devices. You pair 7 of these things and you can't get any more. And we want more than 7. We want at least 8. So first thing I'm going to do is actually look at my own notes. Oh, right. Before we get into that, I complained in part 2 about instance-specific settings being in plafromio.ini. So I'm just going to ask CoPilot if I can find the window. Where did it go? There we go. There are some instance-specific settings in plafromio.ini. Such as such. And what do we call the setting that tells it where to find the Pico on the file system for purposes of writing the program? Upload protocol and upload port. Upload protocol and upload port. Can I put those in a separate file? So this is because keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Keyframes are what? YouTube is complaining at me about the stream here. Apparently keyframes are not being sent often enough, which can cause buffering. Well, it might be because I was looking at the title screen for so long. I mean, it's showing up in YouTube now, so I think it's fine. Cursor, yeah, whatever. Gonna ignore it. CoPilot says, yes, you can put in some specific settings in a separate file by using the extra configs option in plafromio.ini. Plafromio.ini. I thought it was just platform.ini. Is it wrong, or is that really a thing? You never know. Platform.io home. We don't need that. Here's platform.io. Oh, never mind. It is platform.io.ini. Let's see, what did it say about that? So create the new file called local.ini, move that stuff in there. And then extra configs. We just say extra underscore configs equals the file name. Let's see if that works. Extra configs equals local.ini. Put a comment. Put your instance specific configuration in local.ini. And then make a new file called, let's see, it's new file. Maybe I'll call it something more specific. Platform.io-local.ini. Paste that stuff in here. I think we have to still say env pico. Eventually I'll make like a platform.io local.example.ini so that I know how to do this again on a new machine. Now what seems weird to me is that this is under the env pico section. Should that be outside the env pico section of the main configuration file. No, should remain within env pico. Ensure they're employed correctly to the pico environment. Include the settings from within the same and all right, and well, it thinks that that's how it looks. So even though extra configs is defined under env pico, the file that it references is loaded as if it's not inside that section. So you say env pico as a ini header again. All right, according to CoPilot. Well, let's try it. Oh, I changed the name and I didn't change plafromio-local.ini. All right. Now it's reconfiguring the project, which makes sense because I changed the configuration. And then let's try uploading. Is the thing in bootloader mode? No. Bootload. Okay. Load it up. Don't need this PowerShell thing. That's just clutter. I guess when you change the configuration, it recompiles everything. I don't think it does that. Like if I just made changes to main.cpp, it wouldn't be recompiling build/pico/framework arduino/wiring-pulse.cpp. If you change the configuration, it's like, well, anything could have been affected. Please specify upload port. Did I spell that right? Is it extra configs, plural? Extra configs, plafromio local.ini. Upload protocol, so I did specify upload. Did I not specify upload port? Plafromio upload. No, it's in there. Please specify upload port. Or I could have a global option. I mean, maybe that's what I have to do. Plafromio, and I spelled this correctly, right? Configuratoin. Fix this misspelling. Plafromio local.ini. I could just copy paste exactly what it gave me in case I mistyped something. Upload protocol. Oh, it looks the same. Gonna keep my comments for now. I had to add these. Well, that right. All right, I'm just gonna run it again. See if it was something dumb like I forgot to save the file. Looking for upload port. And the file system is available, right? I'm checking volumes are, yep, it is there. It's in the right place. It's in here. Well, I'm going to complain to not ChatGPT. I'm so used to saying ChatGPT. In this case, it's GitHub Copilot. When I try to upload, I get this error. Error, please specify upload port for environment or use global upload port option. Platform I/O is not recognizing the upload port setting from the local INI file. This can happen if the extra configs directive is not correctly including the local configuration file. I mean, maybe I fat fingered it, right? Let's go in here. I fat fingered it. Platform IO local. Oi. This is the trouble with, I don't know, maybe this keyboard has some dust in it or something. Try again. Always check for fat fingerings. Recompiling, again, since I changed the fake configuration, it has to recompile everything. Looking for upload port. I am going to just rename platform IO, not to actually rename the file, but just so I can copy paste the file name. Platform IO-local.ini. Extra configs, that's spelled right. Ensure that extra underscore configs. I'm going to copy paste what it gave me. And with Pico too. Can we copy all that to the clipboard? Paste. Okay, we're using exactly the platform IO.ini that CoPilot told me to use, because it looks the same as what I was trying to do. In case there was like a... No. All right. Up. The issue persists. Try specifying the full path to the... No, I don't want to specify the full path. That like defeats the purpose, because then this file would be referencing your locations on your file system, which is exactly what I was trying to avoid. That's dumb. You can try specifying the upload port. Yeah, again. You know what? I think maybe CoPilot's full of crap. Let's ask a different LLM. Let's ask ChatGPT. Yeah, I might want that open. Undo. What? I need the undo. I have to. There we go. Undo. Reopen. Close tab. Not that I want to look at that right now. Okay. I am trying to move some platform IO configuration out of the main, versioned platform IO.ini file because it is specific to the workspace file system paths and such. How can I split out some configuration properties? That's what we can call them in the Java world because they're all properties files. Split out configuration properties. In platform IO, you can leverage environment variables or extra configuration files. I mean, environment variables would be fine. I'd be happy to use environment variables. Oh, I see. I mean, assuming it's not just making this up, right? On Windows, I can workspace specific config file. Maybe I'll do that for now because supports extending or overriding the configuration platform IO.ini using extra configuration files, workspace config, for example. include it in plafromio.ini. Use the extends keyword. Okay. Oh, alternatively, you can create a plafromio override.ini file, which is automatically used to override plafromio.ini configurations. This file is not versioned by default. I think that's what I want. I just want to do that. Let's try it. Let's try using this. Maybe I should just go read the documentation instead of talking to LLMs. If this doesn't work, that's what I'm going to do next. All right. So forget this crap and rename this to, what did it call it? Plafromio override. Platformio underscore override. And Pico, and Pico. All right. Crossing my fingers here. Now it's going to have to recompile everything, of course. Move my web browser window back to the other desktop so I can keep an eye on the streaming status. Doesn't like my keyframes. I wonder if that's a thing I can set in OBS Studio. Probably not during a recording. Stream. There's a checkbox to ignore streaming service setting recommendations. Anyway, this didn't work. Though they do have, okay, I'm talking about OBS Studio now. In the streaming, okay, the output settings in the streaming tab, there is a keyframe interval. 0 equals auto, and it's in seconds. What does YouTube say it wants? 4 seconds or less. How about put in 4 then? You know, would that fix it? And again, not sure if it would fix it for this stream. It might have to. YouTube's still complaining about that. Although the live feed that I am watching is a few seconds behind where I am, clearly. Nah, whatever. And actually, I do need my web browser because I need to Google for how to do this properly, since chatbots are giving me bad information. Plafromio configuration workspace? I don't know. What would we Google for? Plafromio configuration file. Talks about plafromio.ini. Each project has its own plafromio.ini. Multiple options can be specified in different ways. Section plafromio. Directory options. Global libdir, platforms dir, data dir, tester, shared dir. Build. There's a section on environment variables. Can affect the way running processes will behave on a computer. Handles variables, which start with plafromio prefix. How to set an environment variable. Uses general environment variables for the common operations. Handle CI, auth token, directories, core dir, global dir, platforms dir. So I don't think this is what I want. I don't want to set one of these variables that's specific to platform.io. I just want some way. Oh, never mind. It happens to be in here. I can set all uppercase platform.io underscore upload port, upload underscore port. Now, how do I do this within Visual Studio Code? All right. Well, maybe back to the LLM. See what it can tell me. I'm going to go to ChatGPT because that doesn't use up my CoPilot minutes. That did not work. Too bad. I did find in the platform.io documentation that I can set environment variable that, or not so much that I can set it, that if is set, it will use that. So presumably I could not set it in platform.io.ini. How would I set this? How would I configure things in Visual Studio Code so that when I click, this is the trouble with IDEs. There's like buttons, but like, what do they do? How do you configure them? I don't know. Gotta go ask some LLM. So that when I click the run button, it uses some customized environment variables, because I don't want to set this like globally in Windows. It's really for like my specific, the pairing of this project and this workspace. If you're using Visual Studio, oh wait, that's part of the previous answer. Maybe I should have read the whole thing. Okay. I'm just reading the rest of what it told me before. Oh, option one. Okay. Let's tasks. It actually did answer my question as part of the previous thing I asked it, I think. Customize environment, where clicking the run button, you can define them within the workspace configuration by modifying your .vs code /tasks.json or using a shell environment script. Option 1, use tasks.json. I wonder if that's a thing that already exists. Like, I mean, there's a run button, you know, like I want it to hook into that. Like, what does that do? What does that button do? I do have a VS Code. Launch. Oh, look at this. Maybe this is, I'd like to open this in a new window. Or maybe I can close that and close this. All right, so I'm looking at launch.json. I'm guessing this might platform.io debug. These might correspond to those buttons. Launch, PIO debug. Build, upload. Request, launch, executable. Huh. So this... I'm going, off script here. It told me to edit a tasks.json, and I'm looking at some other file. Project env name. Like, who knows? Who knows what this stuff is? Extensions.json? CPP properties. This is clearly auto-generated. Do not modify it. It doesn't want me to modify this either. But launch.json does have a comment that points me to a web page. Debugging options. Debugging options. Maybe this is not what I want. All right, I'm going to go back to what it said here. Tasks run with env. Run the task. Control-Shift-P, run task. Run this task. Oh yeah, sure, but what I really want to do is hook into the button that's already there in my IDE. I don't have to remember to not click that and click a different one instead. Terminal to always have these run platform. Then I have to run it from the terminal. Tasks.json. Okay. So ChatGPT is talking like this first approach would do what I want. But then, okay, it doesn't seem like any of these would hook into the, I mean, another thing I could do is just change the launch configuration for Visual Studio Code so that it sets these things. Hook into the button that's already in my IDE that was that's put there by plafromio itself. There's a way I can make Visual Studio Code itself load up these environment variables so they'll apply to everything I do within it. Set environment variables. Looks straightforward enough. Integrated and yeah, otherwise I could do it directly by workspace specific environment variable. Only to a specific, that is true. That is what I want. Oh, but then I have to, oh, okay. This actually, if this works, plafromio. Is that a real thing? Yes, we know what an environment variable is. I want to know how they can be set. Oh, settings. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Or set dynamic. How to set them. But this is outside of Visual Studio Code, right? That doesn't really help me. How do I set them as part of configuration? Yeah, I mean, I really don't trust that thing that ChatGPT just told me because well, this is DuckDuckGo. Sometimes it's not the best. None of these say anything about env_file. Okay, I'm gonna try. This is so frustrating because I wanted to actually be programming here. Like, not so much fighting with configuration files. This is how it goes. When you go and use some big honkin' IDE that does a bunch of magic stuff, it's all well and good until you want to customize something and you can't figure out how. Platform.io. You know what I could do is just not check in the plafromio.ini file. Platform.io.ini include? Is there a way to tell it to include another file? Interpolation of values. Support for interpolation, allowing values to incorporate format strings, which is all well and good. Built-in variables, section.option. sysenv.name to get it from the environment. Here's an example. Might the example hint at it? Inject these options into a section using extra.name of option. Keep sensitive data in environment variables. Yeah. He that we were talking to. For a global solution, modifying the shelf or using settings.json. So for the workspace, it gets into platform.io stuff that doesn't actually exist. We don't want to do it that way. We want to do it to... Okay, let's look at Visual Studio Code settings, see if we can add it there somehow. Control comma, environment variables. Environment. None of these say environment variables. What did it call them? Terminal. It called them terminal. Maybe it's just a misnomer, you know. Environment changes, detect locale, and it would be added to VS Code process used by the terminal on Linux, on Windows. All right, there we go. We're gonna add, not that, folders. Okay, this is my workspace config, so that's good. It actually is in the workspace. Env.windows. Now, what did platform.io tell us? Upload port. This is the one that we want to set. This is the one that we want to set to C/volume RP. What did I call it? This. I'm kind of surprised that CoPilot is not filling this in right. Maybe it doesn't. That's not part of its context. It's JSON, so let's just, for simplicity, use forward slashes. And then there was also upload protocol. Oh, it doesn't know about upload. Okay, well, maybe upload protocol will always be Pico tool. Put this back in. Please set up platform IO upload port environment variable in your workspace.json for VS Code. Work. Better spell it right if I'm telling people what to do. To the drive, ladder, or path where the Pico is mounted. All right, and then I can delete this because that's fake garbage. Let's okay. Okay, I may have to restart Visual Studio Code now. So let's do that. There's a isn't there an option in Visual Studio Code to like restart it? Maybe not. Close. Visual Studio Code. Open it again. Now Platform IO is going to pop up a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to have to click the X button a few times. It's going to open Welcome to PIO. Yep, going to configure the project. Okay, get out of here. Hit the upload button, see if it works. Didn't fat finger anything here, did I? Platform IO underscore upload underscore port. I think I copy and pasted that. I copy and pasted that too. So unless this is wrong, but this was generated by Visual Studio Code. So it's probably not wrong. The name of the JSON key for the environment variables. Uploading. Is it going to upload right? Oh, it did it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was painful, but I think we finally got it. And I'm going to put this in, this is the README for that stuff. I'm going to put a README in this project. README dot, usually I'd do org READMEs, but because I'm doing Visual Studio Code here. Okay, Pico PIO1. Trying to use Platform IO to program up by Pico W to do some Bluetooth stuff with Wii balance boards. Workspace configuration. You will need to set Platform IO upload port environment variable. Why am I not getting help writing this, huh? I'm spoiled now. Like I want I want CoPilot to finish my sentences for me, you know. Let's see, we have a, oh, we can click on, maybe we have to open the CoPilot chat here, or open edits, or maybe I got logged out of Visual Studio, you know, or maybe it just is not configured to help with .md files, I don't know. To point to, now there's too much crap on my screen again, to point to the drive or mount point where the Pico or path where the PyPico gets mounted when booted in bootloader mode. In Visual Studio Code, this can be done by editing your workspace.json and adding something like adding something like, note that you will need to name the section on environment variables differently if running on Mac OS or Linux. Okay, good stuff. Made some progress here. Git status. I'm going to make a commit. Going to update my devlog. Platform IO upload port can be specified as an environment variable. Actually, setting the environment variable for your VS Code workspace requires modifying workspace.json. Otherwise, of course, if you're running platform IO from the command line, setting environment variables is a little more straightforward. To-do tasks. A lot of my programming time is actually spent bookkeeping. I might overdo it. Doing stuff. All right. We don't want things that are done cluttering up the to-do list. Okay. Git add -up. Review the changes. Yep, did that thing. Got that stuff out of split. We don't want to do that. That can stay the way it was. And that can be changed, and that can be changed. Is that it for the changes? Oh, pico.pio1/readme.org.md.org. Third, okay. This is Windows auto-completing paths wrong. There is a readme.org in this directory. Can get rid of that. Okay, finally, a commit. Move upload port config out of plafromio.ini. It's difficult enough, geez. Gosh. Well, what do I do next? How long has this been going? Oh, my kid is calling for me, so good time to wrap this up anyway. So today we figured out, let's edit this, update the title. Moving some configuration out of plafromio.ini. Good title, huh? Yep, gotta go see to my kid here. What is going on with this screen? The end.